Welcome back to another Q&A. We have some really great questions. Two of them kind of fit together. The third is a wild card because we love a wild card. So today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on heavy lifting to maintain strength and bone mass. And then how did I get to build a better booty in my late 50s? These questions came in on the same question box in Instagram, and they really tie together. And then the third one, which also came in that same day, why am I so sexy? So because I decided I was. So we're going to dive into that as well, a little mindset sorcery for you. So if you're seeing me for the first time, I'm so glad you're here. And if you've come back for more, that is even better. I'm Elizabeth, and I was born in 1966. I am a double certified health and weight loss coach, author, content creator, and three-time finalist in the Maximum Cover Girl competition in my late 50s, competing with women mostly in their 20s and 30s, because I believe it's time to tell a new story about aging. I believe we can love our bodies and our lives at any age. And if you like my content, if you like my vibe, I will drop a link in the caption to my storefront where you can grab some free video tutorials like lose 5 pounds this month, my free poolside planks tutorial. You can check out my cookbooks, which are full of high protein, low calorie, bikini friendly recipes, as well as real life weight loss strategies that work. They've helped my clients lose 10 to 35 pounds and keep them off eating real food. I have a journal, the Happy Healthy and Hot Journal, that you can grab on Amazon. You can shop my sexy affordable fashion in my LTK shop. There is so much there. So let's dive into this first question. What do I think about heavy lifting to maintain strength and bone mass? I think it's great, but I don't do it. I don't do it. It absolutely works. I think I believe there's not just one way to reach your goals. And I think I think heavy lifting is great. As I said, I'm not doing it. It can also, when not done properly, lead to injury, all of the things, especially as we're getting older. So I'm going to talk about how I maintain my strength and bone mass. And I'm also going to talk about some things that I'd recommend you do if you do pursue heavy lifting. I've done it years and years ago, like over a decade. It's something that I might get back to at some point. And when I do, if I do, I will make sure that I am very well supported in doing it because I want to do it and get all the benefits without, injury and that type of thing. So to maintain strength and bone mass, to maintain strength, that is our muscle strength. That is crucial to aging well. So yes, muscle makes us look toned. It looks good. It's very aesthetic, but it also is very protective, especially as we get older. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon says that muscle is the organ of longevity, and I completely agree with that. So yes, muscle is important. Here's how I maintain my strength and my muscle. First of all, with my nutrition, I prioritize protein from real food. As we get older, our bodies really need those amino acids from real food to build and maintain muscle, more so than when we were younger and our hormones did some of the work. So to activate muscle protein synthesis, we want to be getting at least 30 grams of high quality protein per meal. And I really like to get it from things like beef, fish, eggs, real food. I do take collagen daily, which does give me additional protein because I'm not getting those amino acids because I'm not in my food all the time. So I'm not always doing like bone broth and stuff like that. I think it's great. I aim for at least 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. I typically get more than that. Again, my protein is coming from real food. I use collagen daily, but other than that, protein powders, I have some really high quality ones. It's just not what I use on a regular basis. I eat real food. I'm satisfied. I'm satiated. It tastes good. All of the things. So the protein is essential to build and maintain muscle and therefore strength. And then I do resistance training is key. So heavy lifting is absolutely resistance training. I do more body weight resistance training. I've not used any weights, honestly, in months. I am going to start incorporating some light weights and probably ultimately get back to my 15-pound kettlebell, but I haven't done that since the summer. So body weight. And I know not everybody wants to hear this, and I know some people are going to be like, oh, heavy lifting is necessary for women. Progressive overload. I feel amazing. I'm not doing it. Could I feel more amazing doing it? Maybe, but I'm not right now. And I'm thrilled with the way I look, with the way I feel. So I do body weight moves like planks, push-ups. I did mess my shoulder, so I need to be a little careful with that. But planks, push-ups, squats, stepping on and off of the balance trainer, hilly walks, hilly hikes, which we're going to get into when it comes to building a better booty. So I do a lot of body weight. Again, sometimes working light weights. And that is how I maintain my strength and muscle. As far as bone mass, we need to be doing weight bearing exercises. So, yeah, heavy lifting is helpful. So is walking. So is hiking. So is, if you choose to run. Um, so you do need to be putting weight on, you know, weight bearing. You could add a weighted vest, certainly. Um, Swimming, for example, is not doing any, it's great for your strength and it's great for cardio, but that's not the weight bearing that's going to build and maintain bone mass. But, and I'll be honest, I have not had my bone mass checked recently, but every time I have, it's been very like stable. It's been good. And I'm a very small bone woman. So I'm somebody that um, does need to check this. And I do need to do that soon. I just haven't. So I'll let you know what I find out. But anyway, that I think heavy lifting can be great to maintain strength and bone mass. However, I don't believe that it's necessary. Um, Next question. Which does tie in with this, how did I build a better booty in my late 50s? I would love to tell you. And it is exactly the stuff that I've been talking about. I prioritize protein. So I'm getting that at least 30 grams per meal, typically more, but I'm always aiming for 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. Getting that from real food, beef, fish, eggs, poultry. I do some of the higher protein dairy like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt, then filling in with colorful fruits and veggies. I've been talking about eating this way for a decade because it works. I'm not telling you need to eat exactly the meals I eat. I'm not telling you you need to eat a certain number of times a day or certain times of day, but I'm telling you that real food is where it's at. Okay? And I've been talking about this for a decade, And you find yourself satiated, energized. The cravings go away when you're relying on things like protein shakes and bars that are hyper palatable, flavored like glazed donuts, strawberry shortcake, birthday cake. That often just leads to cravings for more junk, more sugar, more processed foods. And I do think of some of those products as junk. And I'm not naming names. There are some great products out there, but I'm telling you, start with real food. And then the protein shakes and things are a supplement if you choose to incorporate them. Sometimes in a busy day or you just had a hard time meeting your protein needs, whatever. But I'd start with the real food. So that is the first thing I did to build a better booty. Second thing is resistance training, which for me has not been heavy lifting. I do things on the balance trainer. I do my ass burner exercise that I've posted a gazillion times here as a YouTube shorts and on Insta and Facebook. Maybe I'll do a full length YouTube video about it. So I'm doing simple resistance training. Also 5 minutes a day. I basically 5 minutes ass, 5 minutes abs. That's how I do it. But then also something that has really helped me, hilly walks on a daily basis. So I've been committed to walking, as you know, forever. But I started adding hills. I noticed that, it really helps when I do these hilly walks and hikes once a week. But I thought, what if I step that up? So I found a couple hills in my neighborhood. They're not crazy, but I just make sure every morning when I'm doing my morning walk, I hit them. I just throw in some hills. Take the stairs. I've always said, you want a cute ass? Take the stairs. So building in those hills into my 10 to now it's like usually 15,000 steps a day has also helped me build a better booty. And finally, I do need to mention, I'm always going to talk about food first. It comes way before supplements, but I have, along with the collagen that I put in my coffee every day, I have recently started adding creatine. And when I say recently, it's been over the course of the past year. And adding the creatine, which I did, we know creatine has all types of muscle benefits. I just never took it consistently. But when I started hearing about the brain benefits, that's when I really got excited. And so I started taking it for the brain benefits, the cognitive function, supposed to truly like be protective to our telomeres. Like, yes, please. But what I noticed is my muscle definition improved in my abs and in my, I know the creatine has helped with building a better booty. And that is linked in my store that I'll put in the caption. Um, okay, last question. Why am I so sexy? You know why I'm so sexy? Because I decided to be. And it wasn't like I said, oh, I'm going to wake up today and be sexy, which you can do. But it was more, I started just intuitively rejecting the stories about aging. As I would hear, going back 15 years ago, I'd hear other moms in the soccer field saying, oh, it's our age, or at my age, I can't wear that, or I'm stiff getting out of the chair. Well, we're at that age. And I just started thinking, I wouldn't say anything to them, but I'd think in my head, speak for yourself. So I don't let my age dictate what I wear, what I do. And I've also just got built myself up through the principles I've been sharing here for 10 years. Happy, healthy, and hot stands for mindset, nutrition, and fitness. I've started believing in myself. I've started filling myself up first because I know that, as Neville Goddard said back, or not Neville Goddard, Wallace Waddle said back in the 1920s, the best thing you can do for the whole world is to make the most of yourself. So I fill myself up first. I connect with myself before I consume stuff from the outside world, before the world tells me how I'm supposed to feel. And doing that, trusting my confidence, my own intuition has made me sexier because I love my body. I love my life. I look hot in a bikini, but it is more than that. It's that I am exuding this confidence and this vitality that just keeps getting stronger as I get older. And not because, because I've just been doing this for longer and I've been building on the confidence and I'm seeing the results of what's working. And I'm dealing with comments from haters and saying, like, this is says so much more about you than it does about me. So it's the personal growth combined with the self-care, the walking, the protein, all of the things that, yes, I'm not pretending I don't want to be 25. And I'm not saying I look 25 or even 35 or 45. I'm not trying to go back in time. I'm trying to make the most of where I am and where I'm going. And that's why I'm so sexy. Confidence is sexy. Self-awareness is sexy. So are flat abs and a better booty. All of those things are sexy. So is wearing cute panties, even if you're the only one that's seeing them. That's sexy. Confidence is sexy. It is so much more to do with your energy than with the way you look. Everything starts on the inside with the food you eat, the thoughts you think, the messages you're taking in, the way you speak to yourself, the way you learn as hard things happen to feel them, to be able to hold that discomfort, but know that it's not a whole story about you and your life, to know it's just about what's going on in the moment. But confidence and sexiness, it all starts inside. It's an inside job, and then it just radiates out. So, anyway, that's my message for today. Thank you for being here and have a fabulous day. Drop any questions in the comments.